this ascetic does not have 14 oxen that have gotten lost, not seen now for the past 6 days. Hence this ascetic is happy. Surely this ascetic does not have a field of blighted sesamum plants, some with 1 leaf, some with 2. Hence this ascetic is happy. Surely this ascetic does not have rats inside an empty barn, dancing around merrily. Hence this ascetic is happy. Surely this ascetic does not have a blanket that for 7 months has been covered with swarms of vermin. Hence this ascetic is happy. Surely this ascetic does not have 7 daughters left for widows, some with 1 son, some with 2. Hence this ascetic is happy. Surely this ascetic does not have a thorny wife with pock-marked face who wakes him up with a kick. Hence this ascetic is happy. Surely this ascetic does not have creditors who call at dawn, chiding him, pay up, pay up. Hence this ascetic is happy. So when the Buddha heard him speak this, the Buddha replied, surely Brahmin, I do not have 14 oxen that have gotten lost, not seen now for the past 6 days. Hence Brahmin, I am happy. Surely Brahmin, I do not have a field of blighted sesamum plants, some with 1 leaf, some with 2. Hence, O Brahmin, I am happy. Surely Brahmin, I do not have rats inside an empty barn, dancing around merrily. Hence, O Brahmin, I am happy. Surely Brahmin, I do not have a blanket that for 7 months has been covered with swarms of vermin. Hence, O Brahmin, I am happy. Surely Brahmin, I do not have 7 daughters left for widows, some with 1 son, some with 2. Hence, O Brahmin, I am happy. Surely Brahmin, I do not have a thorny wife with pock-marked face who wakes me up with a kick. Hence, O Brahmin, I am happy. Surely Brahmin, I do not have creditors who call at dawn, chiding me, pay up, pay up. Hence, O Brahmin, I am happy. And this was said, the Brahmin of the Bharadvaja clan said to the Blessed One, magnificent Master Gotama, magnificent. And he took refuge in the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha and asked to go forth, and later he also became an Arahant. So these verses here are quite amusing. He says, because the Buddha surely is not like him, all the 14 cattle, oxen lost, and then he planted these sesamum plants, and probably not enough water or what, they didn't sprout properly, some only have 1 leaf, some 2 leaves, and then his barn or his store is empty except for rats. Then his blanket, 7 months is covered with vermin. Maybe 7 months he is not able to use it or what. And then he has 7 daughters whose husbands have died, so they all come back to him. He has to look after them. So because of that, he's every morning the creditors, the along will come to him asking him to pay up. So he got so much problems on his hands. So when he compared himself with the Buddha, I said, Buddha is so happy compared to him. So he decided to go forth and became an Arahant later. 7.11. On one occasion, the Blessed One was dwelling among the Magadhans at Dakshinagiri, near the Brahmin village of Ekanala. Now on that occasion, the Brahmin Kasi Bharadvaja the ploughman, had 500 ploughs fastened to their yokes at the time of sowing. Then in the morning, the Blessed One dressed, and taking bowl and robe, went to the place where the Brahmin Kasi Bharadvaja was at work. Now on that occasion, the Brahmin Kasi Bharadvaja's food distribution was taking place. Then the Blessed One approached the place of the food distribution and stood to one side. The Brahmin Kasi Bharadvaja saw the Blessed One standing for alms and said to him, Recluse, I plough and sow, and when I have ploughed and sown, I eat. You too, ascetic, ought to plough and sow. Then when you have ploughed and sown, you will eat. I stop here for a moment. So this Brahmin must have been a rich man. He got 500 ploughs already. to work, to sow seeds and all that. So all his workers must have been standing ready to work. So it was food time. So the Buddha came to ask for alms. Then he thought the Buddha, like a lot of people think monks are lazy people, only beg for their food and then go and sleep. So he told the Buddha, we have to work for our food. You also ought to work for your food. Then the Buddha said, I too, Brahmin, plow and sow. And when I have plowed and sown, I eat. And he said, but we do not see Master Gotama's yoke or plowshare or goat or oxen. Yet Master Gotama says, I too, Brahmin, plow and sow. And when I have plowed and sown, I eat. Then the Brahmin Kasi Bharadvaja addressed the Blessed One in verse, you claim to be a man who works the plow, but I do not see your plowing. If you are a plowman, answer me, how should we understand your plowing? And the Buddha said, faith is the seed, austerity the rain, wisdom my yoke and plow, shame the pole, mine the yoke tie, mindfulness my plowshare and goat, guarded in body, guarded in speech, control in my appetite for food, I use truth as my weeding hook and gentleness as my unyoking. Energy is my beast of burden, carrying me to security from bondage. It goes ahead without stopping, to where, having gone, one does not sorrow. In such a way, this plowing is done, which has the deathless as its fruit. Having finished this work of plowing, one is released from all suffering. And he said, let Master Gotama eat. The worthy is a plowman, since Master Gotama does plowing that has even the deathless as its fruit. And the Buddha said, food over which verses have been sung is not fit to be eaten by the Buddha and all that. When this was said, the Brahmin Kasi Bharadvaja said to the Blessed One, magnificent Master Gotama, magnificent Master Gotama. The Dhamma has been made clear in many ways by Master Gotama, as though he were turning upright what had been turned upside down, revealing what was hidden, showing the way to one who was lost, or holding up a lamp in the dark for those with eyesight to see forms. I go for refuge to Master Gotama and to the Dhamma and to the Bhikkhu Sangha. Let Master Gotama remember me as a lay follower who from today has gone for refuge for life. So in the end, he realized that the Buddha also works in a different way, works to attain the deathless. So he was impressed, so he became a follower of the Buddha. But you see here, he didn't ask to go forth and become a monk, probably because he was a very rich man. 7.12 at Savatthi. Then in the morning, the Blessed One dressed and taking bowl and robe, approached the residence of the Brahmin Udaya. Then the Brahmin Udaya filled the Blessed One's bowl with rice. A second time in the morning, that means the next day, the Blessed One dressed and taking bowl and robe approached the residence of the Brahmin Udaya. And a third time in the morning, that means in the third day, also the Buddha, the Blessed One dressed and taking bowl and robe approached the residence of the Brahmin Udaya. Then for the third time the Brahmin Udaya filled the Blessed One's bowl with rice, after which he said to the Blessed One, this pesky ascetic Gotama keeps coming again and again. Stop here for a moment. You notice here among the suttas that many of these Brahmins, they know who the Buddha is, They mention Master Gotama or Samana Gotama. But this guy, this last one, the Buddha came consecutively, day after day for 3 days, and he was getting annoyed already. He said, this pesky ascetic keeps coming again and again. And the Buddha said, again and again they sow the seed. Again and again the sky god sends down rain. Again and again the plowmen plow the field. Again and again grain comes to the realm. Again and again the mendicants beg, the monks. Again and again the donors give. When donors have given again and again they go to heaven. Again and again the dairy folk draw milk. Again and again the calf goes to its mother. Again and again one wearies and trembles. Again and again the enters the womb, or the fool enters the womb. Again and again one is born and dies. Again and again they take one to the cemetery. But when one has obtained the path that leads to no more renewed existence, having become broad in wisdom, one is not born again and again. And this was said, the Brahmin Udaya said to the Blessed One, Magnificent Master Gotama, Magnificent Master Gotama. Then he took the 3 refuges and asked to be a lay follower for the rest of his life. So here the verses sound very nice. The Buddha is saying, life is like that. Everything repeats again and again, again and again. So if a person does charity and again, so he goes to heaven again and again. 7.13. Now on that occasion the Blessed One was afflicted by winds, and the Venerable Upavana was his attendant. Then the Blessed One addressed the Venerable Upavana thus, Come now, Upavana, find some hot water for me. I'll stop here for a moment. You see here, it's mentioned that Venerable Upavana was the attendant of the Buddha. In our Buddhist tradition, a senior monk will have a junior monk who attends to him, who serves him. And in his later years, the Buddha chose Ananda to be his attendant because the Buddha taught for how long? 45 years. So the first half, the first about 20 years, the Buddha kept changing attendants. Only about the last 25 years, Venerable Ananda served the Buddha. And Venerable Ananda was not young, Venerable Ananda, if I am not mistaken, is the same age as the Buddha. Then, so here in this sutta, the Buddha was afflicted with winds, Yao Feng. So why is this? Because the Buddha and his monks, they beg for their food. Sometimes they get poor food, or sometimes they don't get enough to eat. So like the other day we read, there's even a case where the Buddha did not get any food for the whole morning. He begged. So because of that, sometimes he has this gastric problem, flatulence, wind. So he asked this attendant, Venerable Upavana, to find some hot water. Yes, Venerable Sir, the Venerable Upavana replied. Then he dressed, and taking bowl and robe, went to the residence of the Brahmin Devahita, where he stood silently to one side. The Brahmin Devahita saw the Venerable Upavana standing silently to one side, and addressed him in verse. You notice when our Buddhist monks beg for anything, we don't open our mouth, we just keep quiet. Then normally people give food, or in this case it's evening, so probably evening. So the man probably knew there was something wrong, I wanted something. So the man asked, Silent the worthy one stands, shaven-headed, clad in a stitched robe. What do you want? What do you seek? What have you come here to beg? And the Venerable Upavana said, The Arahant, the fortunate one in the world. This fortunate one, I think, is a translation for Sugata. The sage is afflicted with winds. If there is any hot water, Brahmin, please give it for the sage. He is worshipped by those worthy of worship, honored by those worthy of honor, respected by those worthy of respect. It is to him that I wish to take it. So the monk is telling this man that he's asking for water, hot water for a holy man. Then the Brahmin Devahita ordered a man to bring a carrying pole with hot water and presented a bag of molasses to the Venerable Upavana. Molasses is this sugar. Then the Venerable Upavana approached the Blessed One. He had the Blessed One bathed with the hot water, and he mixed the molasses with hot water and offered it to him. Then the Blessed One's ailments subsided. Then the Brahmin Devahita approached the Blessed One and exchanged greetings with him, after which he sat down to one side and addressed the Blessed One in verse. Where should one give a proper gift? Where does a gift bear great fruit? How, for one bestowing alms, does an offering